Hey everyone, this is James, the Notorious Banker, with another special commentary. It seems like there's a lot of Wells Fargo news just coming every single day, and I wanted to get to this one because millions and millions of people got this email in the last couple of days, and it really, really ticks me off because it's just another way that a big bank is screwing over the little guy. And basically, Bank of America and all the big banks do this every once in a while, where they say, important information about avoiding a fee. It's like anytime there's a rewards program at a restaurant, they go, hey, fun new features, and it screws you over. This is another way of screwing you over, according to Wells Fargo. So now it's a little bit harder to avoid the monthly maintenance fee if you bank at Wells Fargo. And it's over my shoulder here, but I'm going to read it to you. And I'm going to read it in my little professional bank voice here. So it says, what is happening? Effective with the fee period beginning after October 8th, 2020, there will be changes to your everyday checking account. Avoiding the monthly service fee with 10 or more posted debit card transactions will no longer be an option. So basically, the easiest way to avoid the monthly maintenance via Wells Fargo, sliding your debit card, doing what you're supposed to do with your debit card, use it, is no longer going to be the way to avoid the fee. Mind you, anytime you slide your card at a point of sale, Wells Fargo and other banks make a lot of money off of you sliding that card rather than spending cash. So now they're no longer rewarding you for doing something that makes them money. They're actually saying, well, that's not good enough. So now it doesn't matter if you do one debit card transaction or 100 debit card transactions, you better meet the minimum requirements. Otherwise, you're going to get charged a fee. Second bullet point, the options to avoid the monthly service fee using minimum daily balance or qualifying direct deposits will be based on a minimum of $500 each pay period. Depending on your checking account type, this represents a lower minimum for one or both of these options. Well, thank you so very much. In a weird way, they try to sell you a benefit statement saying, hey, it used to be $1,500, but we're now only asking for $500. So if you're minimum wage and you have 3 kids, you're a single mom, single parent, whatever, do you have $500 just lying around to leave in your account? That way you avoid a $12 a month, a $10 a month monthly maintenance fee. No, not at all. Okay, you can't do it. It's impossible. Living paycheck to paycheck is just that. You're waiting for the next paycheck because the other paycheck is going away. So don't sell me on the fact that you lower the minimum threshold from 1,500 to 500. You knew that I couldn't keep 50 in there. And now you're going to punish me even more because the one thing that I could do, I can no longer do because you're saying it's not good enough. And the second part is interesting. They say a qualifying direct deposit totaling $500 each fee period. And they don't say every month because it's not, from the first to the end of the month. It's every statement cycle, which could be from the 10th to the 10th or whatever. So sometimes it's luck of the draw. The way that the calendar works on your pay period can dictate whether or not you get charged a fee at a bank. And that's the part that pisses me off. That's the part that sucks, okay? So here's the thing. It's actually a higher threshold than Bank of America. Bank of America actually wins in this regard. Bank of America only requires a $250 one-time deposit once a month to avoid the fee. Wells Fargo is asking for double that. Now, $500 of each period is relatively easy to do. If you work minimum wage 40 hours a week, you're going to get to $500 each pay period. So I'm not doubting that you make that much money because you know what, minimum wage is still $10,000 a year probably. I didn't really do the math, but just think about it. 40 hours a week at $7.50 an hour, that's $300 a week, $15,000 a year. There you go, pre-tax. So $500 each period is easy to do, but here's the thing I learned being a small town banker in a small state like New Mexico. Those people that make minimum wage, the day laborers, the people who work crap jobs, as maids or janitors or whatever, typically they're hired by people who are old school, who don't believe in digital banking, who like to write their own checks out and put their signature stamp on there, tear the check out of the book and give it to you themselves. That's the person that the big banks should go after, the Wells Fargo, the Bank of Americas of the world, but they don't. Instead, they put it on the employee who makes really crappy wages, who works a lot of hours for not a lot of love and not a lot of respect, and they're punishing them saying, hey, that check should be direct deposit. Well, the reason why the boss does not want to give direct deposit is because that employee is expendable. That employee can easily be fired and replaced with someone the next day. So all the paperwork, all the digitization of putting that person into your computer and figuring out their taxes and stuff, and automatically churning out a direct deposit to that person's account is not going to be an option for that business owner. I can tell you 1,000 business owners in this town that are like that. One of the biggest employers in this town is McDonald's in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and the franchisee of McDonald's and owns 15 of them over here does not offer direct deposit. You get a paper check if you work at McDonald's in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and think about all those people who bust their ass working at McDonald's, not making a decent living and really having a hard time at it, now getting a fee from their bank because that particular owner of McDonald's franchise just decided, you know what, I don't want to offer direct deposit. Meanwhile, they're generating millions of dollars of revenue, probably not paying a lot of bank fees, and their low-level employees are. So don't give me that crap, Wells Fargo, and saying, hey, if you do direct deposit, you avoid the fee. Well, chances are if I work a crappy job, there's no way I can get direct deposit. So the thing that bugs me the most about this email is it's basically telling me I'm going to get charged a fee because there's no other way to do it. Because if I'm poor and I'm working paycheck to paycheck and I work at one of these places that just has an old school owner who does not want to change with the times the way that big banks say that you should change with the times, then I, the customer, am going to get screwed. The interesting thing about this note is it says, what do you need to do? And then it says, sign on to view your most recent checking account statement for a message detailing the specific changes to your account. Basically, this email told you what you already know, but you're going to get charged, and that just really sucks. And then my favorite part of this little message over my shoulder here is this questions. If you have any questions about the changes detailed in your checking account statement, please contact your local banker. Oh, way to pin it on the local bankers who don't ever answer their damn phone, okay? Those people don't answer the phone because they're busy explaining this crap in person to so many people. So all of a sudden, Wells Fargo's passing the buck down to their lowest level employee to explain something that is clear as day in this email. Or call the number listed on your statement. And that number is, why can't you give it to me on email? It's the 1-800 number, just like it is everywhere else. And then, of course, the final part right there, just on the side of me right there. Thank you for banking with Wells Fargo. Yeah, thank you for burning me, okay? So all of a sudden, the easiest way to avoid the fee is now the most impossible way to avoid the fee. And now the average customer who is minimum wage, who is working paycheck to paycheck, is going to be paying somewhere between $60 and $150 a year to bank with you. Wells Fargo, you need to get your ass in check because all of a sudden you have millions of people who are going to be paying a fee that shouldn't be paying a fee just because you want to do a certain way of banking. Well, look in the mirror and look at your business owners, especially in smaller towns and smaller states, and you try to convince them to do direct deposit, and guess what? You wouldn't have this problem. My name is James, the Notorious Banker, and I want you to subscribe to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/notoriousbanker, where for as little as a $1 subscription, you can help me fight back against big banks. I provide a survey commentary. I provide a podcast. I provide videos. I provide financial advice, and I provide a little bit of humor. So for at least $1, you're helping me fight back for the little guy, and I really do appreciate that. So please do so. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course, @BankBetterGuy on Twitter. My name is James, the Notorious Banker, and I just told you why your bank sucks, but I'm also going to tell you how to fight back. We'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for joining me.